this happens to anybody else, but do you guys ever get in like a weird zone where you find one super cool thing and then the rest of the day that just seems to be either like the theme of the things that you look for, or you just can't stop looking for whatever it is that thing was? Maybe you go to a store and you find like a super collectible t-shirt, and then the rest of the day, all you do is either look for t-shirts or find t-shirts. Like, it's a weird thing, and I'm super curious if that happens to anybody else. I had an antique shopping day, which is kind of amazing. What ended up happening was the very first thing I found at one of these antique shops was this incredible photo album. Not only the amazing price of $55, but the content of this album was absolutely incredible. So this album contains tons of photos of post-World War II Germany and different countries in Europe that were completely destroyed during the war. And you can actually see this. If you look at some of these photos, you can see completely demolished buildings. There's bullet holes on the side of these walls. Some of the ceilings on these buildings are completely caved in. You can see famous landmarks in Germany that are destroyed. They're in the middle of being rebuilt. There's really amazing photos that were incredibly historical, and so it's kind of cool to find something like this. Whoever put this album together had an amazing eye for photography and took some really, really amazing photos. Not only of different soldiers and people that he was seeing, but also really amazing landmarks. So this is something that I absolutely have to have. You guys, these photos though, you could open up to any page and they're just incredible photos. Here's one of a soldier just like sitting on a train or a boat. So I was super excited to find this, but then what it ended up doing to me in my mind the rest of the day is I couldn't stop looking for war items and military items. Lucky for me, there's some really collectible military items out there, but I feel like I just kept raising the bar every single time I'd find something, getting something bigger, getting something crazier. So I'm gonna show you guys what I ended up getting, because I could probably go to war after this day with everything that I ended up buying without even trying. One of the very first things I see are these little guys here, and they're like not that uncommon. These are not that rare, but these are trench art letter openers. So basically these were made during World War II, and you can see it's made out of an old bullet. They only wanted $10 for both of these. These will sell anywhere from $30 to $40 each. So a lot of them are gonna be engraved with the date and where they were made. This particular one is dated 1945. And it was from Guam. So that's kind of a cool thing. You can see the year it was made, you can see exactly where it was from. They did a really cool etched picture on the back of a little hut under a tree. I am in a war mood, so I'm gonna just like look for war things today. I don't know. But then things started getting a little bit more serious. I found a couple of really cool knives, so I'm like sort of easing into the situation a little bit. But then the next thing I see, you guys, is this incredible sword. And you can tell right away that this thing has some serious age to it. And I pull it out. Sure enough, this is an 1860 field and staff officer sword. This thing is really incredible. I've never actually seen one of these in person before, but the detailing on this is amazing. The handle is really, really incredible. It's got some amazing detailing. This is like on a hinge. And then it's got this eagle here on the back. The problem is it's missing the end of the handle, so that kind of stinks. But they were only asking $65 for this, and these swords can be incredibly valuable. Not to mention the history behind a sword like this is really incredible. This would have had a scabbard that came with it originally, but you guys, to have something from this crazy historical time in history is really, really incredible. And for $65, yeah, I'm gonna get that. But I'm going through the store and the next thing I see are these lamps. I am a sucker for trench art, you guys, and these things are really incredible. Some of these trench art lamps can be really elaborate and over the top and massive, and the workmanship and the detailing on them can be absolutely incredible. Those ones can go for a ton of money. Now these, they're really, really simple, but I ended up getting them because they only wanted $30 each for them. So $60 for the pair of these lamps is really, really not bad. And what's cool about these is they were made out of several different shell casings. So what you have here is one single shell casing. The bottom is actually a piece from an M14 shell casing. So you can actually see It's got the M14 mark, but it's also dated. So this would have also been a World War II trench art piece. And what's really cool is they actually have like 45 caliber bullet casings down here. So they actually created these out of several different shell casings, which is kind of amazing. And these will sell for quite a bit of money, so I'm glad that I found these. I kind of lost control a little bit at this point. They had this back patio area where they had all this old backpacks and old military surplus items. I pulled out this one backpack that just felt super heavy, and I was like, what on earth could this be? It is literally an old parachute, and I'm thinking like, this thing is so heavy. But then also, I guess if you're jumping out of a plane, you don't need it to be that light, right? I'm ready. I'm ready to jump out of a plane at this point. Is this where I thought my day would end up when I came to the antique shop? No, but here we are. I'm desperately afraid that if I pull on this, it's just gonna like, I don't know how parachutes work. I've never jumped out of a plane. This would have been a 1960s era parachute from a company called Irving, and they actually specialized in like all kinds of different things. They specialized in straps that actually were used in Chevrolet cars early on. This is actually kind of cool. Like I kind of just want to wear this around. Just don't pull on the strap. It's hard to find vintage parachutes that are still packed. People use them and then they just scrunch them all up. This is still packed and ready to be deployed. The other thing that this came with, which was kind of cool, it tells you who has repacked this over the years. This was purchased in the 80s by a skydiving company, and this is mildly terrifying to me. This parachute is from the 60s, and then it was purchased in 1982 by this company who has records of every time that it was repacked. I don't know if I'd want to use a 20-year-old parachute jumping out of a plane, but that's just me. I also probably would never skydive, so maybe I'm the wrong person to ask. This is incredible. I'm wearing this for the rest of the video, and you guys can't say anything about it. It's getting serious. I'm buying knives, swords, parachutes. Like, I'm literally ready to go to war, probably at a moment's notice. Then it goes even to another level, you guys. I'm going through this antique shop, and I look on top of this shelf, and there's a bomb. There's a freaking bomb on top of this bookshelf, and I'm like, I have pretty much everything else I need. I don't have any bombs. So now I have a freaking bomb. I don't know who I am anymore. I'm ready. I've got my parachute and my bomb. Like, where are we going? So this is actually just the tailpiece for an MK82, which stands for Mark 82 bomb, which was a 500-pound bomb. Now what's crazy is, you guys, this is literally just the tailpiece. So the actual bomb was over 7 feet tall. Each bomb would cost over $2,000 to make, and they dropped these by like the dozen. So this particular bomb would have been made from the 1960s to the 1990s. This would have been from a line that had 4 other sizes, and this was the second smallest one. So what people are doing with these now, you flip this over and you make it into a table base. And the top of the table would sit on top of this, and it would make this really cool table base. And so that's what people are doing with these old bomb tails. And I'm sorry, like, I've never seen one of those before. I had to have it, so I bought it. They only wanted $120 for this bomb, and I talked them down to 100, and now I have a parachute, a bomb, a sword, multiple knives, and a really cool photo album. I'm feeling pretty good about this day, you guys. The history for each of these items is absolutely incredible. This photo album I'm obsessed with. A bomb. I bought a bomb. I woke up in the morning and I put on my shoes. I certainly did not say I'm buying a bomb today. My life, you guys, my life. So I wanna hear from you guys. What is something that you get on like the trail for? If you find one thing, like that is it. Like that is what you're gonna be buying the rest of the day. And it can be anything. Some of you guys that are like super into like old clothing or old mugs, or maybe it's like dinner plates or lighting or I don't know, video games. Everybody has that one thing that like you find it and it just inspires you to then look for more of that thing. Leave your comment in the comment section below. I'm super excited to read your guys' responses. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, make sure you do it now so you don't miss future episodes. And as always, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.